Treyarch has officially lost their minds. According to leaks, Paradox Junction DLC 2 for Black Ops 7 Zombies looks like it might genuinely just be a straight up Nuketown remaster. And when I heard this news, I genuinely could not believe it. And personally, I still can't believe it. So we're going to get into that a little bit. But where did this all come from? Well, this comes from the Ghost of Hope on Twitter. And as many of you probably know, the Ghost of Hope is one of the most prominent leakers in the Call of Duty space. The things that he leaks are usually true or close to true, or at the very least were true at some point. Now, sometimes he has outdated information or slightly inaccurate information, but at the very least, what he says is usually close to what we get, even if it's not exactly right on the money. But sometimes he does leak things that don't end up coming true, and that's just because they were things that were planned and then happened to be changed or cut. But at this point, what Hope is saying actually correlates perfectly with what we saw that Call of Duty accidentally leaked themselves on one of their own Instagram accounts. Yes, I am being for real. Let me show you the image on screen right now. This was found on one of Call of Duty's official Instagram accounts. So Twitter leakers don't even have to do it anymore. Call of Duty's just doing their job for them. So they leaked this image themselves in one of their posts. And as you can see, I mean, it's just straight up Nuketown. This looks genuinely just like Black Ops 2 Nuketown Survival, which first of all is just extremely disappointing. Like I was saying in the last video, I was really hoping that they were just going to be using parts of Nuketown or just like a Nuketown inspired type map, very similar to what Ashes of the Dam did with Transit. Obviously, there aren't any one-to-one Transit remake locations in Ashes of the Damned. It's just heavily inspired. So I was really hoping they were going to do the same thing with Nuketown, but as you can see, this is just straight up the layout of Nuketown. It straight up looks like Black Ops 2 Nuketown Zombies, and that is just super disappointing. But what we were all kind of hoping is, well, this could be more like a D Machines situation where, yeah, sure, Nuketown is a pretty small map, so it would make sense that the whole of Nuketown is in the map if they're going to expand on it greatly. You know, the map could be huge and Nuketown could be just a very small part of it. I mean, even similar to Alpha Omega, Nuketown, the actual multiplayer playable space of Nuketown in Alpha Omega is pretty small versus the rest of Alpha Omega, which is the underground facility, and the whole rest of the Nuketown town is quite a lot bigger. Well, that was until we saw this tweet from the Ghost of Hope, which says the map might just be Nuketown with no extra playable areas. I'll let you guys know if this changes or not. Now, when I read this, I genuinely fell out of my seat. I cannot even fathom that Treyarch in the year of 2026 would even consider this to be an acceptable map to release as a mainline DLC. Now, granted, we are getting 5 DLCs in this season, but like I said in my last video, that only equals out to 6 maps total in this game. 6 maps for a Black Ops game is perfectly normal, right? Like pretty much every Black Ops game has 6 zombies maps. And sure, we haven't really gotten one of those kind of chill Liberty Falls or D Machine-esque like survival only maps that are very chill for the casual player. We haven't really gotten one of those in Black Ops 7, so this could be what that is. But the fact that you're releasing it as a mainline DLC, the expectations are so much higher than if this were to come out as a bonus map alongside Ashes of the Damned. Not to mention, we already have chill survival-esque maps for the casual player in Black Ops 7. It's called the survival game mode. We don't need one of these extra bonus map style maps because we have survival. If this was just a bonus map alongside Ashes, I think people wouldn't complain really at all, especially if it has a really thorough Easter egg, a well thought out quest, and a good boss fight. All those things could still be very true about this map, but just the fact that the playable space itself is going to be this small, I mean, it just screams survival map, or it screams bonus map, right? And like I said, if that came out along with Ashes of the Damned, fine, whatever. I don't think people would be complaining that much, but you are marketing and selling this as a DLC 2. Let's just think about some of the previous DLC 2s we had, all right? We got the Tomb. Now, people don't like the Tomb. They say it's a little too small, the Easter egg's too short, too simple, whatever, but say what you will, the Tomb is a wholly original map with very, very beautiful play spaces and pretty good side Easter eggs and a good wonder weapon. Now, granted, that wonder weapon is remade, but either way, the Tomb is a pretty much fully fledged map. I wouldn't go as far as to say the Tomb is a bonus map, so I'm hoping that this Nuketown survival map could be kind of more in that realm where, sure, it has remade areas, it's not the biggest play space, but at least the Easter egg is fully fledged, the boss fight is fully fledged, and there's enough content in there that that it feels like enough to warrant being a DLC 2 map. Now, before Black Ops 6, we had Cold War with Outbreak. Let's not even talk about that. That was trash. Black Ops 4 DLC 2, we had Ancient Evil, one of the greatest zombies maps of all time. Now that is how you do a fully fledged, beautiful map. Now granted, Ancient Evil is not the biggest map of all time. And during early playtests that many of the YouTubers got to play, they said Ancient Evil is a very small map that doesn't have very many big areas, right? And that was because the Easter egg was locked off and they weren't able to go to the underground area of Ancient Evil, the Hell World kind of area of it. Now maybe Hope is getting his information from an early playtester who hasn't gotten access to the rest of the map. And potentially there's a lot more to this Nuketown remake than meets the eye. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping we have a Ancient Evil situation on our hands. Before that was Black Ops 3. We had Zetsubo no Shima, one of the biggest and most ambitious maps of all time. Now say what you will about that map. I think that map is very good. You know, it got a lot of hate back in the day. If that map came out today as DLC 2, people would call it the greatest map of all time. Okay, don't at me. Because if you compare that to modern games, I mean, it's just not even close. But, you know, for the time, people didn't really like it. But if you just look at it from a content perspective and how big that map is and how much there is to do and how unique it is so packed full of content and Easter eggs that to compare that to something like a Nuketown remake, I mean, it's just not even close. Black Ops 2, we had Mob of the Dead. I mean, what do I even say about Mob of the Dead? One of the greatest maps of all time. And so when you really look at these previous DLC 2s and compare it to the projected content that we're going to get with DLC 2 of Black Ops 7, it just makes you wonder what happened. Has Treyarch lost their minds? Did their team and budget get cut significantly, which is possible because the sales are really bad. But that being said, I mean, Black Ops 4 sales were horrendous and the player base dropped off super fast and the budget got cut super fast and they had to go work on Cold War immediately. And yet we still got Ancient Evil as DLC 2, one of the best maps of all time. So I just don't see how major budget cuts and like team cuts could even cause this bad of a map to come out. Now that being said, Treyarch aren't idiots, right? Like they've been making zombies for over 10 years now. Oh, way over 10 years. Oh my God, I'm getting old. They've been making zombies for a long time. They know what the community wants more or less, right? They know that they can't get away with just a straight up Nuketown remake survival map as DLC 2. They know that's not enough. Now let's get into some of the other things that Hope said, which kind of goes along with this. Now, just earlier today, Hope said that Paradox Junction is literally just 3 Nuketown versions stacked on top of each other with portals. I'm sure there's new areas for the Easter egg, but as a map itself, from what I've heard and others too, it's just Nuketown's playable area. Now, there's a couple good things here, a couple bad things. The bad thing is that obviously if it's just Nuketown's playable area, this is the smallest DLC 2 in terms of actual play space that we've seen ever. I mean, we got this as a bonus DLC pre-order map for Black Ops 2, the same amount of playable area. What are we doing? Let's forget about that for now. The second thing he says is that it's 3 Nuketowns stacked on top of each other, connected by portals. And given the map name being Paradox Junction, I'm assuming that these 3 different maps are kind of like different time periods of Nuketown. Obviously, in every Black Ops game, we've seen various different Nuketowns throughout time periods and different locations. And what I'm assuming is that you can connect these 3 Nuketowns via these portals, and the paradox is that every time you go to a new Nuketown, it's stuck in a completely different time and place in the dark aether. Now, there's some very cool visual things they can do with this. You know, they can have the map be pre-bomb Nuketown, post-bomb Nuketown, during the Nuketown. We can play into the moon lore where Max has launched the rockets at Nuketown, and that could be really cool. So there's some very interesting story and visual map things they could do with a Nuketown remake in this fashion, but the actual gameplay I am really worried about, because the last time we had a map connected by portals was something like Forsaken, and Forsaken has one of the worst map layouts of all time. If you've never played Cold War Zombies, Forsaken is literally just a campaign remake map that takes various locations from a single campaign mission and connects them via portals. The map doesn't flow at all. They didn't put any effort into connecting the map logically and making any sort of flow. You literally just connect the area areas through portals. They're just like completely disconnected areas that you go to through portals, and it's pretty awful. It's one of the worst map layouts of all time, and I'm worried that this Nuketown remake could definitely suffer from something like that, because a map connected by portals is just, it's just not very good, historically at least. Now, one of the good things he said here was that the Easter egg will probably unlock new areas, kind of similar to how we got Mars unlocked on Astra Malorum. But that being said, you're not doing the Easter egg on every playthrough. The average playthrough of this map, you're just going to be stuck on a Nuketown remake. Like, what are we thinking? What are we doing? And sorry about that. But anyways, like I said earlier, Treyarch aren't fools, right? They know what makes a good zombies map. They know that the community does not want to just play on a small Nuketown survival-esque map as DLC 2. So I'm just really hoping that there are actually new areas, and that hope is just straight up wrong, or that his information is just outdated, right? I think it's much more likely that we do have an Alpha Omega scenario. The original leak that Hope leaked like a couple months ago said that the map was an Alpha Omega remake, not a Nuketown remake, right? Now, saying that it's an Alpha Omega remake has the connotation that it comes with those extra areas that Alpha Omega had, the rest of the Nuketown town itself, the bunker, and all these extra areas, right? He never said in the original leak that it was a Nuketown remake. This is more of a newer development that he's saying, oh, it's just 3 Nuketowns stacked on each other. I think that information just straight up has to be inaccurate, and me saying this might age extremely poorly in the next month when we get this map, but I refuse to believe that this map will come out without extra areas. And I know that's straight up cope, and I know that it probably will just be Nuketown, but if it is, this game is just dead, and I just don't trust Treyarch with anything after this, because there's just no way that they can believe that that is okay to release as DLC 2. I just straight up don't believe it. Not to mention we had that awesome teaser image at the end of Astra Malorum kind of showing where we were going. Now, either that was just a complete red herring, or that was saved for the final DLC of this game, like it's teasing the end of this game, or maybe it is in this Nuketown map somewhere, like Hope said. Maybe it's an area that's unlocked by the Easter egg, or even potentially is simply just the boss fight arena for this Nuketown map. If that cool ass area is just the boss fight arena for this map, I will be so incredibly disappointed. Treyarch, please. This final message before I end this video goes out to you working at Treyarch and Treyarch itself. You guys know what makes a good zombies map. It's been over 10 years. You know what the players want. You've been doing really good with Black Ops 7 so far, with very unique maps, good Easter eggs, great boss fights, unique wonder weapons. Don't ruin all of that by giving us a subpar remake. That is the last thing Black Ops 7 needs. And if you are going to do a remake, which obviously you are, you're obviously at the very least going to have Nuketown in this map, as we saw from your Instagram. You have to go extremely hard with content. This map has to have one of the best Easter eggs, the best boss fights, and the best side Easter eggs we've ever seen in a zombies map. The wonder weapon can't be mid. It has to be so unbelievably good, because you are working from a point where nobody trusts you right now. You have to prove us wrong, and I hope you do. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you watched all the way through this video. We're on the road to 500. We're trying to get monetized. So if you could just please drop a sub and drop a like too while you're at it, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And if you don't want to, that's fine too. Just leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the Nuketown remake coming to Black Ops 7 Zombies. Personally, I genuinely can't believe the timeline we're living in. But anyways, I will see you all very soon.